Washington, and I serve as Vice President of Communications here for the Urban League. And I just want to say that I have worked for many wonderful people in this community and organizations in this community. And I'm proud to have been a part of some wonderful projects to advance our region. But I can say today, standing here, Michael McMillan, I'm choked up, what you've done, not just for this bank branch, but for this building, for this community, for our region, is something that we should all, as he comes to this podium for the program today, stand to your feet and give him a round of applause.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Pat, for such an unexpected introduction. And welcome to all of you for this historic and significant day here at the Urban League's regional headquarters. We are so incredibly grateful to Simmons Bank for creating, working, and developing the partnership that we have had over the past decade that has now blossomed to this Urban League here being the only one in the United States that has a full-service bank branch right here in North St. Louis. This is a very personal day for me as well, because many of you of a certain age knew my late uncle, Colonel Clifton Gates, and he was the person who was the chairman and the founder, along with many others, of Missouri's only Black-owned bank, Gateway National Bank. And he used to tell me all the time the importance of a full-service bank in the community, what it means in terms of stability, what it means in terms of people wanting to move into a community, what it means in terms of resources, what it means in terms of people's ability to live the American dream and get home loans and open businesses and create economic stability. And so to open this bank branch in this historic building in partnership with us, just right around the corner from where Gateway was, is truly a historic moment. So I thank you again. Give Simmons Bank one more round of applause for all their hard work and dedication to get us to this point. Simmons Bank has staff that are very, very talented in many, many different ways. And we are going to start off today's program by having Miss Nikisha Joseph come forward, and she is going to sing for us. So at Simmons, you have to have 2 or 3 very significant skills to work there. But as she comes, I want you to give her a thunderous round of applause, because she was just celebrated on Saturday night as the Urban League Guild Member of the Year. And she works right here in this branch, in this community. So we are so grateful to you and so happy for you, and want to continue to celebrate you, your leadership, and what you're doing with our organization and what you do with the bank each and every day.
If you all wouldn't mind standing for the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's reckless there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, Alan, you have to sing the next song. We are very privileged here at the Urban League and in the city of St. Louis to have three dynamic women that represent this community from the city level as its chief executive, from the state level as our senator, and from the legislative branch as our alderwoman. And so it is now my honor, privilege, and pleasure to bring forth the first Black female mayor of the city of St. Louis, who has spent her entire career in public service, giving back, making a difference, and helping others from when she was in the State House, the Democratic Committee woman, the first Black female treasurer of the city of St. Louis, when she was in healthcare, a business owner. I have had the privilege and honor of knowing her for over 30 years, and her commitment to the community has remained the same regardless of the position. And so we are very honored to have Mayor Tashara Jones.
Good morning, and thank you, Michael, for that wonderful introduction. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am Mayor Tashara O. Jones, and the O not only stands for Onita, which is the middle name I share with my beloved late mother, but it also stands for I am oh so St. Louis. And I am thrilled to be here today for this transformational event in our community. I've known the people at Simmons for a long time. Alan and I are good friends. Clay is always in our office doing something. And to have them be the first bank to open in North St. Louis in years, since Community Credit Union and Midwest Bank Center opened in the community, is a testament to how our community is growing. In 2014, as treasurer of the city of St. Louis, I championed the College Kids Savings Account Program and opened the Office of Financial Empowerment. And I am just so thrilled that my successor, Treasurer Adam Lane, is here with us today and has taken these programs and taken them to the next level. So can we give Adam Lane a round of applause? And Michael already acknowledged my sisters in this work, my alder lady, Shameen Clark Hubbard, as well as my state senator, Carla May. It's wonderful to have other Black women in this work who not only support the work that I do, but also lift me up when I need it. So thank you so much. One critical piece that my administration is championing is economic justice, and the Urban League is a big piece of that. And one critical piece of achieving economic justice is financial empowerment, because I truly believe that poverty is the father of crime. So creating opportunities to build wealth in our communities is a key to a stronger and safer city and region. And speaking of a safer city and region, I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of our chief, our police chief, Chief Robert J. Tracy. As well as Sheriff Vernon Betts has joined us today. Thanks to financial institutions and community partners such as Simmons Bank and the Urban League, we're not just talking about change, we're actually creating it. And it's important to create change in our communities, to put institutions like this in our communities so people can bank with people that they see and they look like. And the branch manager introduced herself today to me, and I was like, oh my God, she's gonna create so many good feelings about banking and opening accounts in this community. I can't wait to see what you do, sister. I cannot wait. So today is the culmination of years of planning and executing a vision, and it's a testament to a promise made by the executives at Simmons Bank and a promise kept to the residents of North St. Louis and the entire city of St. Louis. So thank you to your leadership, to your staff, as well as the Urban League of St. Louis for making today a reality, and thank you, Michael, for continuing to deliver for our community. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Mayor. It is now my honor to introduce our state senator, Senator Carla May. For those of you who are not from here, you will probably come to find out that this is the biggest yet smallest 3 million person region in the country. All of us either went to high school together, grade school, college, church, or used to work together at some time. And so Senator Carla May and I went to college together, and she was a fiery voice for change in the Black Student Union 30 years ago. Of course, she was a prodigy, so I was there. I'm 52, she's about 22. Yes. Barely legal to be in the Senate. But she is constantly fighting for St. Louis, she is constantly delivering for St. Louis, and she is constantly making a difference. And just like the mayor and our alderwoman, she is always doing the right thing by the people that need it. She is a voice for the voiceless, and if you were ever in a fight and you wanted somebody by your side, you would want Senator Carla May. Please join me.
I don't want to make that fall. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. First of all, I am humbly honored to be a part of this extraordinary moment in history. It is only a few times, where opportunities present themselves and you begin to be a part of what's happening and the legacy that is being laid. I want to kudos to all the leaders in the room, my alder lady and my mayor, of course, and the partnership with Simmons Bank and the Urban League to come into our community. I appreciate it. I want to say with the historical precedence of the redlining of communities of color, you don't understand how this transition is very important. It's not only important that you open up and establish yourselves in our community, but it's also important that you help the individuals in our community get to a point in banking where they can come in and be able to get loans, mortgage loans, use their homes, grow financially with all the other financial products that you offer. So I'm excited and I'm looking forward to the legacy, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the community and the things that you're about to do in our community. And I want to thank you. I want to thank Mike McMillan for his leadership and, getting Simmons Bank here. Let's give kudos to that. So from my position in the state Senate, I'll do everything in my power to make sure that you're a positive impact in our community. Any assistance that you may need, you can call upon me to do that. And thank you for this opportunity, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Senator. It is now my honor to bring forth our alderwoman, Shameen Clark-Hubbard, who is constantly working not only just for the Urban League, but all of her constituents, which recently doubled. She is always out in the community. If you do not follow her on social media, you should. She shows you each and every day how she is out there with the people, among the people, listening to their concerns. Here at the Urban League, she returns every text, phone call, email within 5 or 10 minutes, and is right there making sure that whatever resources and things that need to be done on behalf of the city are being done, not just for us, but everyone in this community, because we are all working together to make it the best that it can be. Alderwoman Hubbard.
Hi, good morning again, everyone. This is an amazing room. I'm looking around. What I see is everything we need in this community. Every question can be answered right here in this room. So thank you all for being here and taking the time out. Again, my name is Shameen Clark-Hubbard. I do humbly serve as Alder Lady in the 10th Ward here in the city of St. Louis. I love my job. I don't take a second for granted. When I was running, I said there's 8 neighborhoods in the 10th Ward, and the 8 neighborhoods plus you and me equals the power of 10. And so this today is an example of the power of 10. This is restorative economics. Thank you, Simmons Bank. Thank you for your continued obedience. Mike McMillan, here in the community and giving back. When I say restorative economics, I want to make sure, because there may be some people in the room that you don't know the history of that space. And the history of that space is that you all, Simmons Bank, thank you, you are replacing an institution that continually took advantage of a very vulnerable community with predatory lending. Yeah. I think that deserves a round of applause. And so Mayor Jones reminded me of something her father tells her this morning when we were sitting there, that you can always show people better than you can tell people. The Urban League continues to show people. Simmons Bank, this morning you are showing people. And might I add, you showed me a long time ago. I'm a client myself. I'm a client myself of Simmons Bank. I'm not ashamed of it. I was having some banking challenges, and I connected with Daphne Stallings, and she saved me through Simmons Bank. I'm not ashamed of that. So I want to make sure that we know that these trusted partnerships here with ourselves, with me and my sisters in service and leadership, and there are other sisters in service here. I see elected officials in the room. Well, may I ask any of the other elected officials, just so the room can see, all our other elected officials, can you please stand, including former Alderman Jesse Todd, where a lot of this started as well with this bank. The President of St. Louis Public Schools Board. So again, thank you all. This is a step. These are continued steps, and when we all play our part, we will continue to, like Mayor Jones said, her daddy said, show them better than we can tell them. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. You mentioned him just a moment ago, but I would like for our former Alderperson, Jesse Todd, to please stand once again. Jesse introduced the legislation to vacate the alley for our drive-through and to make sure that everything that the city needed to do was done for this project, along with Tony next door, who gave us an easement. Please give Alderman Todd a big round of applause again. And thanks. So our first speaker from Simmons Bank is Tom Lally. And so Tom not only is a very, very competent, qualified, capable, and committed banker, but he has the best endorsement of anything in the world that I need. My mother loves him. And so I know that this is a good man. So I appreciate the work that he has done over the years in the banking community to try to make sure that all of our banks are not only corporate citizens in terms of dealing with shareholders, but also corporate citizens that are dealing with the community. And so we always need that in St. Louis in order to be the best city that we can be. And I thank him for his leadership over the years to bring us to this point. Tom. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to serve as the Missouri Division President for Simmons Bank. And I'm humbled to be here today, and I must recognize so many people that started this great project long before I joined Simmons Bank 18 months ago. I'm indebted to them, I admire them, and it's a great day for our institution. We're in the midst of a very special chapter for Simmons Bank. 120 years, this year marks 120 years of commitment to the communities we serve. For decades, we like to believe that we've made people's financial dreams a reality, and we've heard a little bit about that today. We can celebrate this historic milestone, not because of us, but because of those we've had the honor to serve, the businesses and the individuals who've entrusted their financial needs to us generation after generation. We have a philosophy at Simmons. It's not new to most of you, but it's a better together mindset. That when we work together, when we honor one another, when we listen to one another, we're going to have better outcomes. And this day proves that indeed. And investing in the communities, that's ingrained in our DNA at Simmons. And I'm very proud to represent Simmons in this market for all that has been done for generations in multiple communities across our country. And it goes without saying how proud I am to be part of an institution that is partnering with the Urban League. Obviously, I've known Michael a long time, dear friends with Michael Holmes. What a great institution, a pillar in our community, but it's the people of this great organization that makes me so proud. And our intent here today is not only to provide financial services in a state-of-the-art branch. It's not only that, but be part of a revitalization of this corridor, to do our part, to be a catalyst for change in a city we all love. So you paired with the financial education resources of the Urban League, the team we have in our branch, this is truly a home run for our city, for the Urban League, and for Simmons Bank. So thank you for welcoming me here today, and we are so proud to be here and a partner with the Urban League of St. Louis. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Our next speaker is, in my opinion, one of the great uniters of this community. Young, old, rich, poor, black, white, gay, straight, any and everything in between. This man is a uniter of people. He uses his time, his talent, and his treasure to make a difference. He's always done that. He's a member of the board of directors of the Urban League, member of the executive committee, chair of one of our committees, spends an enormous amount of time, days, evenings, weekends, holidays, trying to help us to live out our mission of improving race relations in this country and bringing blacks and whites and people of all races together and serving the people that need it the most. And so it is truly an honor to work and partner with him. Alan Ivey.
Good morning, everybody. Mike, thanks for those kind words. Undeserved, but thank you very much. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate with us. This is a momentous day, and we could not be happier that everybody is here. I also want to offer my special greetings to our elected officials and our first responders, and to thank you for your service, and thank you for being with us today. You know, I am very grateful and proud to work for a company that truly cares about the communities where we operate. Simmons Bank is that company. And excuse me, as evidence of that today is the number of people from Simmons who are in attendance. And we have our entire St. Louis leadership team under Tom's direction. We have a number of our commercial banking officers are with us. Almost all of our retail branch managers are here today. And on top of that, we are honored to have our CEO, our chairman, George Macris, our CEO, Bob Feldman, our Chief Administrative Officer, Steve Massinelli, 3 of our board members, and numerous other senior executives from throughout our footprint are all with us this morning. Thank you all for being here. You know, at the same time, I am very fortunate to be part of the Urban League team. As Mike mentioned, I'm on the board and the executive committee. It's a true honor for me to work with this team. The Urban League is the most effective organization in the St. Louis area, if nothing more because of their sheer reach, offering over 60 programs that connect with 200,000 St. Louisans on an annual basis. Just think about that. 200,000 people that the Urban League is serving on an annual basis. And the programs cover the gambit, It includes workforce development, economic development, social services, public safety, and community response. And it goes on and on, affordable housing, et cetera. It doesn't happen without strong leadership. And in my career, I've been blessed to work with a number of very strong leaders, some of whom are here today. But I've never encountered anyone quite like Mike McMillan. The man has the vision, the passion, the drive, the ability to bring disparate people together for a common good. He sets a tremendous example for our community, and Mike, your friendship is very, very important to me. So it's been a great partnership, Simmons Bank and the Urban League, over the last decade. We've collaborated on a number of important initiatives throughout the St. Louis area, including we provided the seed money for the Save Our Sons program. We provided the financing that allowed the Urban League to build the Community Empowerment Center in Ferguson, where we have, today, we operate a full-service ATM. We supported the Urban League's COVID relief efforts that provided masks, food, needed supplies to those most vulnerable in our community. And the reason we're here today, we provided the financing that allowed the Urban League to purchase this iconic building. When the Urban League acquired this property, we asked if Simmons could build a bank branch right here. Before this branch opened, there had never been a bank in this neighborhood, never. Now residents and small businesses have access to traditional banking services, including deposit accounts, checking accounts, savings accounts, consumer loans, mortgage loans, small business loans, investment services. And those services are all delivered through our great team of folks that are under the leadership of Sharon Rainford Polk. And I'd like our entire team of Urban League branch associates to please stand and be recognized. I'd also like to recognize two other people that are very familiar to you, I'm sure, but they've been instrumental to date and will continue to be instrumental in our success. And they are Clayton Evans and Alonzo Shaw. Also, I would be remiss if I did not recognize the strong support throughout this project that has been provided by Chaplain Will Jordan, who is the Executive Director of the Equal Housing Opportunity Council here in St. Louis. He's also a member of the Simmons Bank Community Advisory Board. Will? I'd also like to take the opportunity to recognize Grice Group Architects and Kwame Building Group for their work in designing and building our branch and turning a dream into a reality. So thank you all. This branch is not only a good investment for Simmons Bank, but it demonstrates the passion we have for the city of St. Louis. It's an even greater investment for the community. It's a bank right in your backyard that can help fund dreams and can accelerate the economic renaissance that is already happening right now in North City, thanks in large degree to the leadership of Mike McMillan and the Urban League. Today, we're celebrating the opening of the branch, but it's just the beginning of what we can accomplish together, the community, the bank, the Urban League, and all of our other partners. Thank you for being here, and let's continue the celebration.
Thank you, Alan. You and I both love our board of directors. We have the biggest board of directors of any urban league in the history of the United States. So we have 80 members, and some of them are here today, and I would like all of them to stand. I see our chairman emeritus, Keith Williamson, who is here with us, our vice chair, Emily Pitts, our attorney, Sinette Magnus, Jeff Jensen, former U.S. attorney, and if I have missed anyone, please stand. So I would like all the members of our board to please stand and be acknowledged. And most of the Urban League staff are already standing. And so if you are an Urban League staff member, just raise your hand so that we can acknowledge and thank you for the hard work. We have the biggest and best Urban League staff in the United States. Out of almost 100 Urban Leagues, we are still the #1 urban league in America because we have a very competent, qualified, and capable board and a very dedicated staff, and we are working with a fantastic community, from our government leaders to our corporate leaders, business, civic, charitable, community, religious, all for the same purpose of making St. Louis and this region the best that it can be. So I thank each and every one of you for that. One of the things that Alan did not mention, and I asked him if he would give me the opportunity to do so. How many people here are from St. Louis? So one of the things that we have been talking about and grappling with in this community for over 50 years has been how to include minority and female businesses in the overall development of this community. And so we have worked and we have tried method after method. Some of them have been successful, some mediocre, and some have failed. But we here in St. Louis can be the Atlanta of the Midwest, where everyone has a seat at the table, everyone has the ability to be a part of business and jobs, and as our mayor said, poverty is the father, the mother, the godfather, the grandfather, and the grandmother of crime. Yeah. So if you give people a job with good benefits and good pay and upward mobility, they will not end up on the news at 10 o'clock having done something that gets them put into the penitentiary. So making sure that people share in the economic pie of this community with minority and female businesses is good business for everyone. So I'm going to call the names of all of the companies that worked on this and ask you to please join me up here at the podium so that you will see that Simmons is not just talking the talk. They are walking the walk, and that this branch is an example of what can be done. Because when you go down there, you will see it is beautiful. And these companies helped build it. Tony Thompson is here from Kwame Building Group, the #1 African-American construction management group in the country. So I would like for any of the staff that are with any of these companies to please come up, because you are down here with me and Michael Holmes going at it until midnight sometimes, trying to make sure these projects get done. I want all of the staff from every company to come up. Carl Grice designed this branch. Carl, please come forward. Tommy from TD4 is here, for the electrical company that made this happen and has done work in this entire building and around the community. So I will call the rest of the companies present. Archview Demo Company, Bazan Printing, Gateway Roofing, Glazing Solutions, Harambe, Lou Brock Mechanical, Mix Plumbing, Sled Rock Carpentry, Square Up Drywall, Crossroads Abatement, and Ed Jones Landscaping. All of these companies worked on this bank and did a phenomenal job, and when you go down there, you will be pleased and proud to send people to this bank. Give them a big round of applause and congratulations. So Alan talked about the history that we have. When you have a dream, it in many ways can just stay a dream and a dream deferred until other people buy into that vision. And when you're trying to buy a building, there's no other person that you need more than a banker to join you in that dream and with that vision. And so, as Alan mentioned, when we built our Ferguson building, for those of us in St. Louis, you know Ferguson was the lowest moment we've ever had in our entire lives because it exposed all of our problems to the nation and the world. And then the question was, what were we going to do about it? Right then, Simmons was there to say, we will provide the funding for you to build this new community empowerment center at the ground zero of what happened in Ferguson. When I said to Alan, I said, Alan, you know, we're looking at moving our headquarters for the first time in almost 50 years. We're going to go from 24,500 square feet to 205,000 square feet. And we want to do this campus with the plaza behind it and land around it, and then build on LRA land as well. And we want to have a $60 million dream. But I don't have a dime as I'm talking to you right now. Yeah. It's a dream. It's a dream, Alan. And he said, I'm with you. We need that. And I said, we're going to create the crown jewel of all of North St. Louis right here at the busiest intersection in North St. Louis, at the most historic building, because for those of us 40 and over, you know that this Sears and Roebuck was the only place, the only department store where you could go buy everything. We went to get our school uniforms, our appliances, the popcorn that we all loved here. At least I did. Was probably contributed to some of this. So you think about what this store meant, and that there is no other single standing department store left in the entire city of St. Louis other than this building. And this was right here on Easton as the place to go shop. People had jobs, economic opportunity, and the rest. And so knowing that history, we said we need to do this. And Simmons was right there to say, we will join you in that dream. So I just want to thank them again, and I want to ask our chairman to please come up and bring remarks on behalf of the bank.
Thank you, Mike, and once again, good morning. I am terribly proud to be representing Simmons Bank here today, but also personally, I have a special place in my heart for St. Louis. I've told several of you that well before I was in the banking business, our family business was and still is an Anheuser-Busch distributorship in South Arkansas. We've been doing that for 60 years. My sons still run that business, and other than my hometown, I have probably spent more time in St. Louis than any other town in the United States. So for us to have this opportunity in this community is very special to me personally. Now, Alan gave Simmons Bank 10 years of credit for what's been going on during that period of time, and I have to tell you that we haven't been here 10 years. You may remember about 5 years ago, Simmons Bank acquired Reliance Bank. And at that time, I got a very important piece of advice. And that was, George, don't screw it up. and one of the things that really appealed to us, because we are very committed to the communities we serve, is the relationship that Alan and Alonzo and Clayton and others had established in St. Louis with Salicra particularly, and with our Simmons at Reliance at the time advisory board. So we're very good at what we do, and I'll tell you that on the front end. I'm a little prejudiced, but you've heard some testimony today. But we need partners to be successful. And I will tell you that we hold up the Salicra partnership, our advisory board, and what they mean to Simmons and what we do in the community. And I will say this too, Mike may be aware of this, your board of directors may not be. As we talk to other communities in the footprint we serve, which is over 6 states, And when I have the opportunity to talk to national peer groups, we bring up the St. Louis community as the way to organize to get things done. And the first group that is always mentioned by others is the St. Louis Urban League as the shining star of all urban leagues across the United States. You know, I'm from my hometown has a big inferiority complex. We don't think very highly of ourselves in Pine Bluff. That needs to change. And I mention that because there is so much to be proud of here in St. Louis, and particularly with what Mike has been able to accomplish and how groups have come together. And they may not agree totally on the priorities, but when they collectively can go into the community and promote goodwill and good things happening together, things get done. So as a bank, I can tell you that due diligence in almost everything we do is very, very important. When we have partners like Salicra, when we have our advisory board, and when we have Mike McMillan come to us and say, guys, this is what we need, that basically is good enough for us. And we won't say that very often, but we will say that here in St. Louis. And Mike, it is our privilege to be a part of your vision. We appreciate the opportunity, and we stand ready to help the entire community with whatever we can do to help as a financial institution. And now, Mike, I would ask you to come up here for a special presentation, if you don't mind. Thank you. Mike, it is our privilege to present to the Urban League a check for $50,000.
Thank you.
To support your continued efforts here in this facility.
Thank you, George. Give him another round of applause for the commitment, the partnership, and the rest. But I am a firm believer that you should never ask anybody to do anything that you are not willing to do yourself. And so you have already heard about the fact that the Urban League is and has been and will be a very strong customer of the bank. But in order for this branch to be a success, we need $30 million in deposits in this bank. We want to make sure that this branch is a shining star in the Simmons Bank world. And so now I'm going to ask Sharon to come over with me because I'm going to open my own account right now.
Got your bag behind you, Sharon.
And as a Simmons new customer, we'd like to thank you for joining us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so Pat is now trying to take the card as well. And go, thank you, dear, thank you. So we all need to support this branch and support this bank because they are supporting this community, and we are so incredibly grateful for this partnership. 1, 2, 3. Well, it is so incredibly important for the Urban League to partner with Simmons Bank on this full service branch at our regional headquarters, because one of the core fundamental pillars of the Urban League movement across the country is financial literacy, financial freedom, financial empowerment, and people being able to live the entire American dream. And one of the core elements of that is being fully banked and getting the financial information so that you can then live your best lives financially with banks, with loans, with credit scores, going from renting to buying and everything else that comes along with that.
As the treasurer and having an Office of Financial Empowerment, we're always doing outreach to help people live their best financial life. And we get people that come to us with all sorts of situations. So the impact of the community is really being able to get folks banked, which is big because we have one of the biggest populations of unbanked folks, especially in this area. And then if you have a bank account, you have more access to get a loan, to get a car. That's more mobility around to get to that job that you have, to be able to take your kids to programs and opportunities that enrich their educational experience.
The immediate goal, rather, is to provide traditional banking services to a community that has lacked it. There's never been a bank in this neighborhood before. So we're bringing the traditional banking services to the community, deposit accounts, loans, investment services. The long-term goal is that we hope that our investment will be a catalyst for others to invest in this neighborhood and help with the renaissance of the whole Kingshighway corridor.